Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here to race number 22 of the fourth season of the NR 2003 Red Bull GT Series. As we're getting set to go racing here today in the race weekend of cars, we're coming off what has been a very interesting race weekend as far as that is concerned. And these drivers know what is at stake here for 40 laps of racing. These drivers cannot make it 40 laps on a tank of fuel, so we're going to have pit stops during the course of today's race. Davis Santi was not involved in any of the drama that happened if you didn't tune into this morning's qualifying session or go home session with everybody wrecking like crazy, which caused 12 drivers to go to backup machines. By default, he is on the pole position alongside of Matty Crenshaw. That's two drivers who are really struggling in the points. Santi's first pole of the season comes in this race 45th in the points, still looking for his first win of the year. He is a long way back from the cut line driver. That would be Henrietta Fitzwater, since we already have drivers out of the series. Matty Crenshaw, 29th in the points, still looking for her first win of the year. Cody Smart in row 2 dropped a spot down to 27th in the points, and Sam Tenley in the 55. He comes in this race 40th in the points table, as he needs to find some success here today. Jesse Art will round out your top 5. You look at the rest of the starting lineup for today's race. Monica Towns had the slowest time, but really wouldn't matter because she was already going to start at the back of the field anyway with an engine change. Lizette Armstrong all the way down to Jonathan Wong all went to backup cars after they were involved in a wreck. Eric Alpha had an unapproved adjustment, and Courtney Lynn missed the driver's meeting, is why she is starting at the rear of the field. So that is why we have a lot of drivers going to have to work their way to the front. Oh, hold on. Looks like everybody is moving. As there's Davis Santi right there. This is his first pole of the year. Alexander Underwood, one of the drivers who had to start at the rear of the field. He is the points leader by 34 points over Ponzo Albanus, 55 points over Cody Goforth. Jesse Art, 4th in the standings. Sarah Redmond, 2nd the Rookie of the Year standings, trying to run down Ponzo Albanus, who is only 41 points ahead of her. Dana Monroe is 6th. Kyler Anderson, Skylar Taylor, Lane Aurora, and Shyla Askraov. That is your top 10. After this race, once the 0-4 and the 9 get around Jogan Schmidt, we're back to the original 35th in the standings as far as trying to make the show for our next race. That will take part on the channel. Here we go. Davis Santi, his first career pole in the GT Series. We're green from 8 Ball. These drivers will have to go 32 laps. That's how far they can go on a fuel run. Here comes Cody Smart in the number 72 711 Ford Mustang. Cody hasn't had any as looks like he did lead the first lap. Matty Crenshaw now takes the race lead. Now Sam Tenley goes by the 36. Tenley, one of the drivers outside the top 35, hasn't had the season he would have liked. He's looking to turn what has been a dismal season around for that 55 bunch. as Cody Smart now the race leader. Chaz Farmer now takes the lead. Tinley goes back to the lead as Cody Smart now in second. Has anybody dropped off the pack? Looks like Takashi's back here. Matthew Hubert, he's in a backup car after he was involved in that crash. Josh Harmon's back here at the rear of the field. Jonathan Wong. Sean Ard's back here at the rear of the field. There's what would have been our pole sitter, Campbell Marsh, but due to being in a backup car, had to go to the rear of the field as a result. So Armstrong, Luna Farmer, Emma Kaiser, Eric Alpha. Alpha had to repair the right front damage, which was, by the way, an unapproved adjustment because this was an impound race. You can't touch the car after qualifying. Well, they had to make some repairs to that car, so that was unapproved adjustments. Had to go to the rear of the field as a result of it. Of course, it's cloudy and the track has a lot more grip. So we had a cold front come through this in between qualifying and the race here. There's Lucian Bianchi, Skylar Taylor, Reggie Fogelman. A couple of drivers really took advantage of all those cars and had to go to the rear of the field as a result. So Cody Smart leads that lap. Cody is right near the. So let's see. Cody Smart comes into this race 27th in points, so he's somewhat closer to the original 35th in the standings cut line. Guys stay in the top 35 to be locked into the show for next week's or next race for the Red Bull GT Series drivers. There we go. Red Bull GT Series had an off week last week. We had our first elimination race for the Winston Cup Series drivers. As Reagan Whitlock takes the lead. Let's see, back here at the rear of the field, Sean Art's not made up any positions. He's dropped positions down to 40th, but these drivers should know we have a pit stop to go. And there's Courtney Lynn. Had to go to the rear of the field because she missed the driver's meeting, and it was due to a driver change. Sophia Woodward was the one who was practicing this car and made the show in via Go Home. So Courtney Lynn could start because Courtney Lynn spent all of the Go Home session in the infield care center. And she looked miserable when I saw her on the grid, like was having shivers, but she said she's going to go ahead and race, and then they will take her to the infield care center after this race is done. But Courtney Lynn said she will be fine and ready to go for the race on Sunday at Pocono Raceway. And we will see these drivers in 12 days' time as they get ready for another header. Oh, yellow's out. I'll go ahead and finish my point what I was going to say. They have another Saturday-Sunday combo with the Winston Cup Series. And if I look at the schedule, we'll look at the what brought out the caution. That would be Chicagoland. So I'll have qualifying Saturday morning, race on Saturday, the Cup race on Sunday. Monica Towns, the reason for the yellow. Reggie Fogelman, Chaz Farmer. Davis Santi, our pole sitter. Chaz Farmer's got a lot of damage. Looks like a wreck over in turn one. Now comes the question. Do these drivers pit now? If they do, they can make it the rest of the way. We'll find those answers out in just a minute, but first we got to jump back, look at the replay, see what happened to Reggie Fogelman as we're nearing the midway point of today's race. And here is what happened. Looks like the 66, I don't think was clear. As he tried to pull down in front of Chaz Farmer. Farmer was there. Almost identical what happened to Josh Harmon and Zach Underwood during Go qualifying this morning. How did Skylar Taylor get through that? Wow. That's what took all three cars into the wall. But where does the one get his damage? Right there is when the 20 struck the one. Oh, somebody else got a piece of it. It was probably Takashi, I think. Let me see. Let's see if the 71 did get a piece of it. So right there's the shot. And Takashi, she just barely squeaked by. Really squeaked by. But Monica Towns goes into the wall on a bad weekend gone worse for Monica Towns. Had the engine problem, had to start last anyway after, was going dreadfully slow in qualifying. And now her day is already done just like that. As the caution is out for the first time today, let's jump to the restart here at 8 Bowl. Looks like everybody has made their pit stops as we're going to go back to green on lap 17 of 40 as we're getting closer to the midway point of today's race. Top 10 as we go back to green here on this restart. Cody Smart is the leader. Dana Monroe second. Kyler Anderson third. Sam Tenley is fourth. Shyla Askraov in fifth. Reagan Whitlock sixth. Henrietta Fitzwater seventh. Luna Farmer in her second start is eighth. Ninth, Sebastian Palmer in a backup car. And Ricky Cervantes is 10th. 11th is Kyle Langeland. Andrew Williams 12th. Emma Kaiser 13th. Ponzo Albanus 14th with Sarah Redmond 15th. Those are, by the way, the top two in the Rookie of the Year standings coming into today's race. 16th, Logan Williams. 17th, Skylar Taylor. 18th, Lucian Bianchi. 19th, Bradley Ream. And 20th is Annie Crenshaw. 21st, the points leader, Alexander Underwood. Maddie Crenshaw, 22nd. Trinity Lee, 23rd. And in car 23. Courtney Lynn, 24th. 25th, J Ard. 26th, Jonathan Wong. 27th, Cody Goforth. 28th, Lizette Armstrong. 29th, Campbell Marsh. And 30th is Josh Harmon. 31st, Elena Aurora. 32nd, Addison Peterson. Vako Seaman, 33rd. Matthew Huber, 34th. Eric Alpha, 35th. Kasumi Takashi, 36th. Zachary Fitzwater, 37th. Senor Sean R is 38th. 39th, David Santi. And 40th is Chaz Farmer. Two drivers out of the race, Monica Towns and Reggie Fogelman. Those two have taken their cars back behind the wall. They have gone to the infield care center since neither of them drove their cars away. And that is going to be a big hit, as I say, hola to Senor Sean. And we are back to green here at 8 Ball here on lap 17 of 40. As I look at the points here from that big wreck right there, as we got a quacking duck in the booth. I don't know why, but Monica Towns making her 5th start, not even in the contention for the championship. Reggie Fogelman, on the other hand, came in this race 16th in the points. This was definitely not the finish he was hoping for, so April has really played its part in shaking up the points, and we're definitely going to have a point shakeup heading into next week's race. For those that didn't tune into this morning's qualifying session, we were supposed to be going to Nashville, but because my game editor decided to be a derping ostrich and did not want to cut it out as far as, saving the grid, we had to come here to April instead. So hope you guys are okay with that. I do apologize. Until I get a better Nashville, I don't know what I'll do as far as that is concerned on the calendar. Also, if we look at the points here, as Reagan Whitlock has now taken the lead. It was Dana Monroe who led that lap. Have we been to April before for the GT Series? If no, we will have a first-time winner. Yes, we have. Back in Season 2, we were last year at April Super Speedway. The defending winner of that race is not in the field. That would be Angel Gutierrez when he drove the number 2. The car that is driven by Lizette Armstrong is in the field, and of course she is running in the 27th position. So we are guaranteed a brand new winner here in the GT Series. As I should just go ahead and say this now, how are you, Senor Sean, as we're at the midway point of today's race? There's Sebastian Palmer, who had to start the rear of the field in a backup car after he was involved in a wreck over here in Turn 1 this morning. And it didn't take him long to get from the back of the field to the front of the field for that number 3 Ace Jaguar. And he comes into this race. As I look at the points, he's 21st in the points. Henrietta Fitzwater, currently the 35th in the standings cut line driver, even though she's 38th in the points. Addison Peterson's dead last of the drivers who've made every race this season. Because remember, she has the champion's provisional. Chaz Farmer and Davis Santi off the pace. Not surprised those two are off the pace. After we just had our first caution of the race, and we're past the halfway point of the race, which I can say fuel mileage is not going to be an issue for the rest of the day, so that is good news there. But I can tell you some drivers are fearing we may not be done with caution flags, as the front of the field is a little bit spread out.
Touch.
Oh no, and Sean touched the cars. Yes, as soon as I said that, he did touch 4 cars and caused some carnage. We only have 40 on the lead lap. Only 2 out of the race in backup, out of the race. By the way, as I did not ask you to pop up, you derping hyena. Stupid MLB score. I will throw it down the mountain into the cap die if I have to. There's Reagan Whitlock, Henrietta Fitzwater, Shyla Askarov, Andrew Williams, Kyler Anderson, Lucian Bianchi, Emma Kaiser in a backup car after she was involved in that big wreck in qualifying. Yes, we had more cars wrecked in qualifying today than we had cars wrecked in this race so far today. Cody Smart now in the top 10, going by Kyle Langeland. And J Ard, Sean's sister, running in the 13th position. Senor Sean's not having any better luck, but as I said before, these drivers just had their pit stops under the first and only caution, which means as things stand, they are good to go the rest of the distance. The question is, was that the last time we've seen the yellow flag? Something tells me we might see another yellow as Reagan Whitlock's going to go to the lead of the race as we're getting ready to work on lap 25 of 40. And here's our motorsports calendar we got coming up. Speaking of Senor Sean and the gang, we head to Pocono, or Poke Oh No, as I like to call it. All three series will be in action. For J Ard, it will be either she's moving on to the Elite Eight or being one of the two drivers eliminated from the championship, as we have the first elimination race for the Craftsman Truck Series drivers. We have the first elimination race for the Busch Series drivers, and we have our first race of the second round for the Winston Cup Series drivers as we head to Pocono Raceway. Then next week, or in 12 days' time, we will see the Red Bull GT Series at Chicagoland at K Langeland's home track. They'll have go or go home qualifying Saturday morning. They'll go racing Saturday afternoon, and we have the Cup race at Lime Rock Park on Sunday. And then the Red Bull GT Series will be off for 12 more days. They will be back after we head to Kansas for all three series, which will be the first race of the second round for the trucks, the first race of the second round for Busch, as the caution is out for the second time today. First race of the second round for the Busch Series drivers at Kansas, and then for the Winston Cup Series, we're going to sadly say goodbye to 4 drivers who will be eliminated from the championship. Oh, we got a big wreck on the front straightaway. I think Annie Crenshaw. No, Campbell Marsh involved. That's his second car of the weekend, believe it or not. So Sean Hart has caused. Oh no, we got more crash! Crash in the front stretch! That's Shayla Askarov! Oh no, 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 no. Oh my god. I thought Andrew Williams was going to get racked. But Campbell Marsh, who was supposed to start on the pole, but because he was involved in a crash in qualifying, had to go to a backup car, had to start at the rear of the field. He's the reason for the yellow, and that's his second car of the weekend, and he's the only one involved. As the caution's out for the second time today, let's jump back and take a look at a replay to see what in the world happened. So here's what happened to Campbell Marsh. Was running 18th at the time of the incident, and we saw the exact same thing. It's like Sarah Redmond's car got a bit tight, got into Campbell Marsh. Oh, Annie Crenshaw was involved in that. So she was involved, and just look at the tumble the 64 is going to take. Side over side, end over end, going upside down. Thankfully, it lands on all 4 wheels, hopefully. And I think I may have made the right decision on picking a good replacement, and we've had a lot of wrecking so far. And that's a shame for Campbell Marsh, who was going to start on the pole, got involved in that wreck towards the end of the session, had to go to a backup car, had to start at the rear of the field, and he came into this race situated in the, as I look for the 64, he was 24th in points, so that's not the way he wanted to end off his race. Annie Crenshaw on the flip side, as the game won't let me get to the 75. Annie Crenshaw came into this race situated, if I can find the 75, 31st of the points, and she was right near that 30, the original 35th in the standings cut line. She did not need this. But then what happened with the 07 of Shayla Askarov? Because they were racing back to the yellow. Oh, I see what happened here. She was trying to go up the racetrack, get around Chaz Former, just didn't realize Reagan Whitlock was there. And Whitlock goes into the wall, and here comes the 04 of Andrew Williams. I'm surprised nobody hit the Sprint Corvette of Andrew Williams. and he was 31st in the or 34th in the points. Was a total of 5 points ahead of the original 35th in the standings cut line. And Shyla was top 10 of the points, so this was not what Shyla Askraov needed. So caution's out for the second time today. Let's get to the restart here at 8 Ball. Looks like we're going to have a 10-lap dash to finish off today's race. Sam Tinley is the leader, Henrietta Fitzwater in second. Sebastian Palmer in third, Chas Farmer is a lap down, Jesse Art fourth. Fifth is Kaiser, Trinity Lee, Lucian Bianchi, Kyle Langeland, Addison Peterson, and Matthew Hubert the top 10. Campbell Marsh is now out of the race. We had some other drivers out of the race. Zachary Fitzwater, Courtney Lynn, Maddie Crenshaw is missing. And also Emma Kaiser has gone back, or no, not Kaiser. Dana Monroe's gone back behind the wall. I know the 64 is out. But I don't understand why the 43, 8, 36, and 01 are back behind the wall now of the race. I will have to investigate that. You can also add Cody Smart to the list of drivers back behind the wall. So if we get another caution before the checker flag waves, we're going to jump back and look at a replay to figure out why those 4 drivers are back behind the wall. I know Cody Smart's out with a mechanical failure. I'm not worried about him. But I don't understand why the other 4 drivers are back behind the wall. We're going to investigate that after the race. As we are back to green, 10 laps to go to settle this here at 8 Ball. This will drop Cody Smart near that 35th in the standings cut line. Dana Monroe came in this race top 10, the point 6 to be exact. Maddie Crenshaw, 29th in points. She could be in danger of dropping out of the top 35. And it says the 01 was involved in a wreck. Caution is out. Caution is out for the 3rd time today. Maybe we'll have our answer of why those 4 were out of the race. Oh, big wreck, Elena Aurora. Kyler Anderson involved. Ricky Cervantes, Shyla Askarov, Bradley Reim, Sean Art, Andrew Williams, Annie Crenshaw, Ponzo Albanus, the rookie points leader, second in points. Lizette Armstrong, the points leaders involve Alexander Underwood. The top 2 in the championship are out of this race just like that. And this is going to throw the championship wide open. Whitlock is torn up. Cody Goforth, I don't know if he was involved. I don't know if second in the rookie of their standings, Sarah Redmond, was involved in whatever this incident was. The caution is out. Our 3rd caution of the day, and Annie Crenshaw has now been trapped a lap down as a result. We got to figure out some things here. First of all, let's jump back, look at a replay, see why those 4 drivers I just mentioned are out of the race. Then we're going to take a look at what brought out this 3rd caution of the day. So I didn't realize this. Andrew Williams and Shyla Askarov, this was back in our 2nd caution of the race. See, they're trying to get back up to speed, and here's Dana Monroe. Pow! Right in the back of Andrew Williams. Right in the back of Andrew Williams, just launched that 04. Now that's the reason why the car had damage. Maddie Crenshaw got turned by, I think that was Fitzwater. So I didn't realize Fitzwater had damage. Ricky Cervantes had damage. That would probably be a reason why he came to pit road. And that would explain why the 36, the 8, and the 01 are out of the race. Looks like an incident and Zachary Fitzwater had no front end. So that would explain why those four were back behind the wall and out of the race, because that was a ridiculous mistake on the 01, not realizing that the 04 was trying to leave the scene of the accident, and that was a problem right there. And that's a tough break for a couple of drivers who came in running well in points. And this is really going to have a shakeup. So that was why those four were out of the race and why the 04 had damage. Now let's take a look at what brought out the yellow. Well, I can tell you the 34 is going to be asked to see the stewards after this, because he caused this big-ass wreck. As apparently his spotter, not paying any attention, took out poor Emma Kaiser, who was minding her own business. That's Matthew Hubert involved. Eric Alpha, looks like the 60 got in the 12. Alpha saved, no, he did not. Did he save it? He did. Oh my God, Aurora. Oh my God! Holy shit! Oh my God, the 07 is in the damn air. Holy shit! And then Andrew Williams just comes annihilating J Askraov. Oh my God. I've never, ever seen that ever in this race. Holy shit. No wonder they had to throw the red flag for that. Oh my God. I've never seen that at this racetrack in my life. Holy shit, that scared the fuck out of me. Oh my God, I hope all these drivers are okay. That was scary. Let's go to helicopter. Oh my God, that made my heart stop. You see Eric Alpha, yeah, it looks like he saved it. Oh my God, wow, right into the wall, wow. Cervantes, Albanus. Who's that just went flipping into the pit lane? That's Kyler Anderson. Oh my God. I really hope all these drivers involved are okay. That was one of the most scariest wrecks of the day, if not of the season right there, folks. I'm in disbelief. Let's take an onboard. This is going to be one of the most frightening accidents. Onboard the points leader. This is probably one of the most scariest wrecks I've seen. Look at that. The 07 just got launched like a torpedo. Oh my goodness me. On board of J Askraov. Hang on, y'all. Wow. I mean, look at that. Ouch. Oh, that was a big impact. We do hope J Askraov is okay. That was a hard hit for the 07. On board the 13 of Elena Aurora. This is the driver I should be very concerned about. Oh my God. When you hit that tire wall, you have come to a complete stop. Oh my goodness me. I really hope all these drivers involved are okay. That was a massive, massive crash we just had. As we're going to get to the restart here at April for the Red Bull GT Series. Well, I don't know about you. That wreck really made me sick to my stomach seeing all of those drivers involved, and hopefully Red Bull GT officials can give us an update on the drivers involved. But goodness me, keep praying for these drivers that were involved. Henrietta Fitzwater is the leader. Sebastian Palmer in second. Sam Tenley in third. Jesse Art, fourth. Trinity Lee, fifth. Kyle Langeland, Addison Peterson, Skylar Taylor, Lucian Bianchi, and Josh Harmon, your top 10, as we're going to go back to green with 4 laps of racing to go. Drivers out, and there are a lot of them. And just been told, after the race, driver of the 34 to report to the steward's office after the race. And rightfully so, because that could have been really avoided. Oh my God. Out of the race after that, Chaz Farmer, Reggie Fogelman, Elena Aurora, who had to be cut out of the car and she's been taken to a local hospital. I do not have the medical condition on the 13 at this time. Shyla Askraov, Kyler Anderson, Ponzo Albanus, second in points. Lizette Armstrong, Bradley Ream, Alexander Underwood, the points leader out of the races. We're back to green with 4 to go. Ricky Cervantes, Andrew Williams, all out of the race. They joined Cody Smart, Zachary Fitzwater, Courtney Lynn, Maddie Crenshaw, Dana Monroe. That incident, by the way, is going to be investigated after the race. Campbell Marsh, Monica Towns, and Reggie Fogelman, who are all back behind the wall and out of the race. That was a... I have no words to say about that wreck. That was probably one of the worst wrecks I've seen all season in this series. As we're coming down to 3 laps of racing to go. And what's really depressing is that it was all caused by a lap car who just wasn't paying any attention. So, oh boy, I bet the GT officials are not going to be happy about this.
I can already hear the investigation going on.
And I bet for Courtney Lynn, that's probably one thing you did not want to see as any of your competitors get involved, especially, Elena Aurora, who's going to be in the Winston Cup Series race. So, oh boy, that made my heart stop right there. Holy cow. As Matthew Hubert, Senor Sean's already up to 21st. The good news is Sean Art wrecked the field. The bad news is Sean's feeling sick to his stomach seeing all of those drivers involved in a wreck that really should have been avoided, in my honest opinion.
Hey, no. And I said to myself, like, what do you mean?
Boy, we're coming to the white flag here. We're going to end up we've almost had half of this field out of the race. As Henrietta Fitzwater will see the white flag. 1 more lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Oh my goodness me. I haven't seen a wreck like that in quite some time. That was frightening, to be honest with you. I'm sorry?
A lot of people are going to leave here with bitter taste in their mouths.
Yeah. As Henrietta Fitzwater comes off of turn number 4, doesn't look like anybody's going to have an advantage. And Henrietta Fitzwater is going to win here today at 8 Bowl. But I don't think she's going to probably be doing burnouts, as I bet you a lot of the field really going to be sick after seeing that big wreck that really should have been avoided. And unfortunately, it caught a lot of people. Senor Sean's dropped down to 22nd. Not sure what's up with that. Oh, he just came to pit road for some reason. Not sure why.
I think he was just flat out tired for the day.
That's a good answer. But we're going to wait for Sean to cross the line so the standings can get official. Actually, we'll do it like this, just to make it easier. Okay, there we go. Now the standings are official. As J Ard is going to finish second. I bet you're probably, well, I'll say this in one side. On one side, J Ard's really proud of that. On the other side, probably feeling bad for all those drivers that got collected. And she came in this race fourth in the points, so she's definitely going to capitalize on the misfortunes of the drivers ahead of her in the points. And she's going to gain a lot of points on Alexander Underwood leaving today. Sebastian Palmer, backup car, finished the third. Good job to him. Sam Tinley in fourth. Logan Williams will come home in fifth. Trinity Lee, Kyle Langeland, Skylar Taylor, Addison Peterson, and Josh Harmon completed the top 10. Looking through the rest of the results, Sarah Redmond did finish the race, so it looks like she is going to retake the rookie points lead heading into next week's race, or our next race in 12 days' time. And if I go back to the schedule here real quickly, heading into Chicagoland in 12 days' time, because next week will be just Trucks, Busch, when they join the Winston Cup Series on that weekend, as far as that's concerned. Senor Sean was the last driver to finish on the lead lap in 22nd. Wasn't the day Sean was hoping for, but at least he survived. Annie Crenshaw finished a lap down in 23rd, and everybody else, as you look on down through the rest of the finishing results, did not reach the conclusion of the race. Really do hope Elaine Aurora is okay. Same with Shyla Askraov, because those two really took hard hits. In particular, Elaine Aurora, who took a massive hit 3 times in that tire wall that's by the pit road. And let me start that over. And while I want to make a pun about that, I'm really not going to, because and she hit that sucker at about 160 miles an hour, and it came to a complete stop. As you look at the drivers who did not reach the conclusion of the race, Ponzo Albanus second in points, Alexander Underwood the points leader. We can definitely call that the big one, but a lot of these drivers that were involved, I'm really concerned about after those hard hits. I bet Bradley Ream's probably all right. I bet he's probably shaken up. And then, Cody Smart, Zachary Fitzwater, Matty Crenshaw, Courtney Lynn, Dana Monroe. That incident, by the way, between the 01 and the 04 will be investigated after the race. Campbell Marsh, Monica Towns, Reggie Fogelman out from that first yellow of the event. Yeah, Sean's happy he caused a lot of carnage. Unfortunately, he's probably sad about all the drivers that got involved. But like I said, I hope everybody is.
I got my carnage.
Yes, you got your carnage, but you really hope all these drivers will be okay. That's all you're hoping for. So, hope you guys enjoyed what was a interesting race at 8 Ball, but really, really hope for the best for all those drivers involved. And I don't know what the punishment's going to be for Chaz Farmer for causing that, since he was a lap car in the first place. So, but if you enjoyed this wreck fest, or carnage fest, as Sean likes to call it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the World Racing Association crew today. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the World Racing Association for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast or retransmit or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the World Racing Association to Blue Hedgehog TV is prohibited. Blue Hedgehog TV, we want to thank you fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. We showed your full finish results. Your point standings are down in the description. And I can tell you this, I'm glad we made the change from Nashville to 8 Ball, because it really took a major swing in the championship heading into our next race. That will be in 12 days' time. Our race weekend continues. We hope Elaine Aurora will be clear enough to go racing at Pocono, as we have our first elimination race for the Truck Series. So if I'm J Ard, I'd be a little concerned going into that race on Friday. We have the first elimination race for the Busch Series, and then for Sean Art and the Winston Cup Series lads, their first race of the second round. And then we will see Red Bull GT Series in 12 days' time, as they will join the Winston Cup Series at 2 different tracks. These drivers will be at Chicagoland, Kyle Langeland's home track, and Kyle finished in 7th, so Kyle's looking forward to really repping the home crowd. as we have Chicagoland on Saturday, and then the Winston Cup Series drivers will race Sunday at Lime Rock, setting us up for what will be our second elimination race from Kansas Speedway. Until then, for Sean Art, I've been D DeVoe signing off. We'll see you guys next time as you've been watching another broadcast of the World Racing Association, the greatest racing since 2013.